Hello everybody, this is Brent Warner from EdTech.tv. I hope you're doing well today. Today I have a question for you, which is, how can I increase engagement with my students right out of the gate? And what can we do that's fun for everyone and serve a practical and pedagogical purpose? So we've discussed these questions a couple of times before in the past, and this is kind of a lot of what EdTech deals with, but today I've come up with another app, another service that really helps us get to this. And today we're going to look at one of the answers for this, which is Kahoot. Now, Kahoot is similar in some ways to a service that we've looked at before, which is Socrative or Socrative. We're still debating on how to pronounce it properly. But today we're going to look at Kahoot, which is a slightly more gamified version, or a little bit more fun and I think frankly easier to deal with version of the online polling, quizzing, and discussion starting idea. So let's take a look today at Kahoot. All right, so we're going to open up Kahoot. Now to do that, you go to getkahoot.com, and that's Kahoot. There's one thing that's a little confusing, which is that Kahoot actually kind of runs on two different websites. The backend is run through getkahoot.com, but the students are going to be interacting with the website, which is Kahoot, Kahoot.it, or Kahoot.it. So do be a little bit careful that you have those two kind of bookmarked, or that you kind of have set up in your mind what you're going to be doing. So once you create an account, you're going to sign in. And it's going to tell you what you've got. Now, I've gone through and deleted some of mine. I've kept some of them. You can keep and work with your quizzes and discussions that you make. But for right now, we're just going to go into the basics of it. So when you sign in, you have a couple different choices. It says you can create a quiz, you can create a discussion, and you can create a survey. So just to clarify what the difference between those are, the quiz is an question and answer session that has a correct question or a correct answer. So you might create, 5 different questions or 5 different possible answers or something like that, and you would choose the one that's the right answer, and people would get points on whether or not they were right. Discussion is just something that gets you going. So you might choose a yes/no question. If you're working in something like social studies, you might ask, is this an important situation or is this an unimportant situation? And you might use the responses to see what students say and start that as your starting point for a talk in the class. And then the survey is going to be something along the lines of, trying to get survey information. How many of you feel this way? And get polled answers right there. So you can choose whichever one you want. I think quiz is probably the most obvious choice for us to look at today. So let's take a look at that. We're going to go create a new Kahoot, and we're going to click on quiz. Now it's going to say start by giving the quiz a name. So we're going to think of something that we want to make a quiz about. So we'll say, best movies, as we're moving into movie season here. All right, so you can do a lot here, and this is kind of the creation section of everything. So we see that the quiz is the best movies section, and I can create my question. So I might say, what is the best movie? And if I wanted to, I can drag an image from my desktop. So I'm actually going to do that really quickly, and we're going to cut away and come back to this. So I've gone ahead and uploaded a picture from the excellent Twitter account, One Perfect Shot, and this is a Ghostbusters shot. I can choose here. So I'm going to know that this is a points question or a no points question. I'm going to say that it's worth points, and the students are going to have 30 seconds to answer the question. And then I'm going to be able to write in possible answers. Now, obviously, this is not the best question, but for the example, we might choose this. So what's the best movie? The picture here is of Ghostbusters. So I might say Ghostbusters, Ghost, and Ghost Dog. Those are my three possible choices. And when I want to choose one as the correct choice, I'm going to say that I'm going to click on that and I'm going to say Ghostbusters is the correct choice. Now, this is for me on the back end as the teacher creating everything. So now I've got my question all set up and good to go. I can choose to add questions. I can choose to duplicate. I can choose to cancel it, or I can save and continue. So I'm going to save and continue. Now, normally I would add several more questions, but for the sake of brevity, we're just going to do the one. You can choose whether you want to make these public or private. I'm going to say private for now, but if you want to make it public, that means that other people can use your quiz and other teachers can use your quiz. The primary audience, we'll just say school. And then I can choose how difficult it is. Mine's obviously fairly easy, so I'm going to say it's a beginner level question. And I can also tag it because this is part of the interactive database that they're building as everybody creates more quizzes. So then I'm going to click Save and Continue. Now it's going to ask me to give my quiz a cover image, so I might want to choose something else, and I'll do that real quickly too. So I've uploaded a movie-related picture, and then I'm going to say Done. Now, here's where it starts to get fun and where you use it together with your students. Let's take a look. All right, so what's going to happen now is you're going to have the opportunity to start everything, and this is where your students pull out their phones or mobile devices. Yes, that's right. You are encouraging them to use their phones in class, which is awesome. So, from the teacher's side, on the computer that's probably projecting up, and you are going to want to have this projected up, likely on the wall, you're going to click on Play Now. And the students are going to have this website that's going onto their phones. They're going to go on to Kahoot.it. They can also download the app, but we'll just say that if they don't have the app, then we'll just keep it pretty straightforward for everyone. Everyone on whatever device they're on, they can just go to Kahoot.it. So the quiz name is Best Movies. I'm going to launch it. It says ready to join. So now everybody should be getting out their tablets or their phones or whatever it is. Kahoot is going to give a PIN number, which in this case is, this number here, and there's going to be some background music set up. So it says that we're waiting for players. I'm going to bring the music volume down just a little bit. And on the phone, I'm going to put in that information. So I'm going to say the game PIN is 391204. It's going to ask me for my nickname. And I'll join the game. Okay, now as the teacher, I can see that Brent is playing here and he is good to go. Now I'm going to log in from a couple of different devices just to show you what happens. And maybe this student's a little bit naughty and they chose to enter themselves as Booger Butt. Now, as a teacher, I might want to be keeping an eye on this, but as you can see, I can scroll over that and I can have an X button or it strikes through it. So I don't like the name Booger Butt. And so I'm going to click on it and I kick the student right out. And when you see that student's tablet or phone or whatever, it's going to be in a big bright red so you can tell who put in that naughty name. Now they can still play, they can put in their number again and join in under a more appropriate name. And now Stuart's in. Now we've got everybody in and ready to go, Brent, Stara, and Stuart, and we're going to start the game. So there's the background picture. It says question 1, are you ready? And on my phone you can see that it's starting to warm it all up and get ready for everything. Here's the question, gives me 30 seconds, and we all have a choice to choose. So on my phone, you can see that I've got the choices. Do I want to match the red one, the blue one, or the yellow one? And of course, I'm going to choose Ghostbusters for that one. But it's going to let me keep waiting until everybody else has a chance to answer. So maybe the second one and the third one have chosen an answer. And it says here, 2 got the answer correct, matching with Ghostbusters. 1 got it incorrect, matching with Ghost. And then Nobody guessed ghost dog. So what I can also do is then click next, and it gives me points based on one, being correct, but two, the amount of time that it took to get the answer in. So the Brent one on the phone answered first, got 750 points. Sarah answered second, got it correct, but it took more time, 617 points, and then Stuart got it wrong, so no points there. What happens is you keep building, and it'll show, I think, the top 5 or so. And so you have a chance for everybody to watch themselves compete against each other. And I couldn't believe it in the classroom on the Kahoot website. They kind of show a student going nuts about trying to get the answer right. This totally happened in my classroom when I did it. Students went crazy for it. They were yelling at me because the Wi-Fi wasn't good enough, or because, you know, they're using AT&T, and at our school AT&T doesn't get good reception and all sorts of stuff. So, you know, keep it in good humor and good fun, but the engagement was insane, through the roof, and instantaneous. And then you can end it. It's going to say, you know, hey, the winner is, you know, Brent with 750 Kahoots. I got one correct and none incorrect. I have the option here for feedback and results, so I can show all this stuff if there's more going on. Final results, I can download them. I can play again if I wanted to. All sorts of different stuff. So really, really cool way to get students involved. I do recommend playing around with it. Question here right on the phone that shows up: was it fun? Did you learn something? Do you recommend it? So also you can get the feedback as the teacher if you can get the students to answer these questions as well. Definitely something you want to take a look at and play around with. But you can see how really simple it is to jump in and just start going with it. You don't need a lot of prep time. You don't need a lot of setup. It's good to go. You're kind of in and out, and you can move right into your lesson right after this. So I've played it quite a few times, starting the beginning of my lessons with my students, and they really had a great time, and it got the mood going so that they were going to have, you know, a more positive experience right out of the gate. Definitely something fun and interesting to play around with, and there's a lot of possibilities too. So I think, you know, you might want to take a look and see what you can come up with for it as well. All right, everybody, to wrap things up, we're going to quickly give you your homework, which is first to create your account at getkahoot.com. Do it right now. If you got a couple minutes, just go ahead. It doesn't take long, 30 seconds or so. Then I recommend that you explore the Kahoots that have already been created. You might be surprised to find that someone has already made quizzes about, you know, something that you're doing in class, whether it be math problems or book reports or whatever it is. And then finally, really try it with your class. I was amazed and shocked and really, really happy to find how engaged my students were. We were all laughing, having a great time with it. So definitely give it a shot as soon as you can. As always, I would love it if you follow me around the internet. You might notice that I've got a couple changes here. I am on Twitter at EdTech.tv. I am also on Instagram now at EdTech.tv. So wherever you are, you can find me there. On YouTube, it's probably easiest just to find me at edtech.tv/YouTube. And then on Facebook, I am on facebook.com/edtech.tv. So pretty much anywhere you go, I'm around on EdTech.tv. I'd love to hear from you guys. I hope you're having an awesome new year in 2015. And I look forward to hearing from you soon. Best wishes, and talk to you soon.